The Cornflower Cyclops. Carved from an unyielding stone and adorned with weathered copper, it watches over the fields, its single eye a reminder of an ancient protector said to roam these lands long ago. Some say its gaze wards off misfortune, others believe it's a tribute to a forgotten age of titans. I am currently getting some cactus because I do want to make a cactus farm today. I also have another farm that I can show you guys that I made off camera. It is producing a lot of moss, and I'm quite happy with that. I am going to need a lot of green dye in the future, so if I can get this cactus farm going now, then it will definitely be better for us. Now, I did build that statue. I'm calling it the Cornflower Cyclops. That was my very first attempt at second attempt. First real attempt, I guess. At a natural, organic, statue like that, especially of that size. And I'm really happy with the way it came out. So, yes, I am going to show you guys, but I do need to get this cactus. Okay, so if we fly on in, we can see that the statue is in here. Then, of course, out of these little blue patches of cornflowers, and then along the trim, I did add moss blocks and just a little bit of detail. And then, of course, this green concrete, some dead bushes, sea pickles every now and then. And I think I'm going to keep it open, but I do want quite a few trees over here. Following the same theme that we got going on with the cypress and pines, is probably what I'll do over here as well. But look how absolutely massive this thing is. If we are 2 blocks... yeah. Then you gotta look all the way up. Really love the way it came out though. With the little streaks going down to the copper like it's rusting and everything. And then of course from afar, it's looking quite nice as well. Oh yeah, it's just standing there. And then here it is with some shaders. And you can see it's looking quite nice. Now if we fly on over, I did build that cactus farm I was talking about, and then I can show you the moss farm as well. This is the cactus farm. If this doesn't produce enough for us, then I can always extend it. It is extendable. You just keep adding more layers on top of it. And then this is the automatic moss farm. This thing produces like crazy. I flipped a switch, AFK here for like a minute, and I have like 10 stacks. So it's pretty nuts. Really good design. And slowly but surely we'll have all of these farms set up for us. Now I do want to get some trees in. I want it to be pretty dense, so I'm thinking I'll do maybe half of them, maybe a quarter of the trees that will be going over here, and then we can take a break and we can look to see how many we got left. Cool, so now there is probably quite a few regular saplings that are trying to grow up, just the regular trees, default ones. But we do have quite a few custom trees going on in here now. And it's really starting to fill out. I'm not too sure if I want to extend it anymore. I kind of want to extend like the cornflowers down even more. So I'm gonna have to go find some more of those. And then I think I want a super mossified building like right here to store all of my moss blocks and also my cactus because I am producing both of those. Cactus being for the green dye, for like moss and green dye would go way better than a cactus would. So I'm going to store both of them in a building right here. And then of course we can texture all of this up. And then I also have these walls in hand because I want to add a like little horse ranch right here. How I will get horses over here, I'm not quite sure. But you know, it could be a fun challenge. But I am going to build this up real quick and then see what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I go get flowers first and extend that to see if I like it before, because if I don't, then I can add more trees. But if I do, then we can start on the building. So for the pin, I think we can just extend it out a little bit. Now we don't want anything jumping out, of course, so maybe we can just extend it up out here as well. Then we can come down with it. And then we can kind of go a little funky with the shape. It's getting dark, but we can just extend this, keep going down. I think we can continue the too high. So we can go up one right here. There we go. So if we come back here, we can even detail it back up a little bit. Just so it's not a flat wall. We can even have some on the front. And also, maybe every now and then on these. There we go. And then let's go along the sides and kind of just bring these out every now and then. We can extend that one, extend this one. And then maybe like little broken pieces of it extending out every so often. Now I can texture up the inside. Alrighty, I textured the horse ranch up. Now I just need to track all of these horses over there. I'm going to try to get a couple. If not, we can always just mate them. But it doesn't seem like we have a couple over here, so I might have to mate them. Oh, okay, so here's two. There we go. Now, if I can just find a couple more, that'd be nice. And then here is one right here, so I'm going to scoop him up real quick. It is the same color as this one. I was hoping for a few different colors, but we can see what we can make happen. Oh man, it doesn't seem like there's any different types, so if there's any more, period, I guess. And it is about to be nighttime, so I think I'm just going to bring these guys back. Let me see if I can bring these down to, because I have some shulker boxes right there. That's what that shadow is. So let me see if I can bring these down to here, and we can see if we have a fence. Hopefully I have some fences though. All of these are from when I was texturing up the walls. I don't have a fence in here though. Yeah, I don't know why I would if I was working on walls and stuff. Only one is following me, but if we can get at least him up here, then could be nice. Then we can just go get the other two. Now we can lead up all of these. Yeah, okay, making leeway. And honestly, it's like right there. That's not too bad at all. So we are like slowly approaching it. That wasn't too bad at all, actually. It only took like maybe 5 minutes. So once we get these guys up here, oop, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to leave. And then we can get some apples to mate them up real quick. Coming back over here, we can come on in here. Oh, I do have to make them mine first. That is a lot of health. I don't think I've ever seen that much health, to be honest. Alright, there we go. Alrighty, then we can make these up. Alrighty, for some reason apples weren't working. I don't know if they changed that or I'm just dumb. I brought a few different things to hopefully see if that will work. Okay, golden carrots work. I wonder why apples don't work anymore. Or did they ever? Am I tripping? I just flew to the jungle because I need some vines. I needed some vines for this build that I'm gonna be putting into that field of cornflowers. The really mossy one. So I will need quite a bit of these. And I will probably just use this entire shear just to stock up on a little bit more than I need. Every time I do run out of like smaller things like this, I always think to myself, oh man, I gotta go fly all the way over there. But I've come to learn to love the smaller things. I think that's what's so entertaining about this game is that there's always something to go get or harvest or mine, whatever it may be, for your next build, machinery, redstone, things like that. And the fact that there is really makes me happy. It's just right when it pops up that you ran out of something, that initial thought is always like, oh man, I wish I would already had it. But once we get these two going, then we can hop on into that build. So I got all of the field textured up and I added a lot more cornflowers, but I can show off this build to you real quick. I always like to play around with the weathered copper when it comes to brick and any type of green, like the moss or the vines. Because not only do you get that little pink inside the brick, but you also get that greenish effect that the vines give off. So when you're from afar, you can see it quite well. It just blends in. We got a couple pots and storage out here, and then a little awning with some storage as well. And then since this is where I'm going to be keeping my moss, I would think it would make sense that they buy bone blocks in bulk, just so they can process it all down into bone meal when they need it in order to make more moss. And then I textured this up. I kept it simple, which is like mostly 2 blocks, added some vines, and called it a day. Now I still got obviously all of these walls and stuff, but I do want to get this whole wall done and texture this up a bit because I'm not really digging the shape too much. And then also fix this little cliff face thing, this little jagged or whatever that is. Moving on though, I did add some coarse dirt every now and then. A lot more over here than in the actual forest, because I do want the forest to be known as a place that you like aren't allowed to go. They want to keep it pristine and clean and everything, so there's not going to be as much dirt, but every now and then like this I did add some dirt, so when you're flying in there's a little bit of distinction in it. And not allowed to go, I'm not meaning like I'm going to put a big defensive wall around this place like you keep out, you know. I'm meaning more of a story that everybody grew up learning and hearing, and they all grow up having a mutual understanding that no one goes over here. But it looks a lot better than it did with all of these more like cornflowers and stuff. I did leave spaces like this open and kept it more, I kind of went for shapes. Hold on. See, if you fly in, I kind of kept it in more so like shapes and strips compared to like everywhere. Same thing up here. And now with this blue, it looks so good on the map as well. If you zoom in, look at that, dude. It looks so sick. Now it kind of makes me want to put cornflowers everywhere. Now moving on, I do want to go tackle a trial or trial chamber because I kind of just want the loot that is in it, and I haven't done anything survival in quite a bit. I've been building and building and building, so I kind of want to go do something survival based. And I think a trial chamber could be really fun. I just forgot the one thing you do need to start a raid now. this is what we have. No new armor trims, sadly, but I did get the 2 new... Is there only 2? Anyways, I did get the new disc right here. And then I did pick up a few decorated pots just so I don't have to really make them myself. I found this chest plate and also this chest plate. Obviously, I don't really need it, but I kept it just to have some backup tools and stuff, or some backup armor. 32 emeralds just from picking up these vases mostly, and I did pick up some white candles along the way. Other than that, I didn't get too much. I did get this enchanted apple, and then about a stack and a half of breeze rods. So it's a little successful. I can just go ahead and put all of this stuff up. Now, moving on, I do want to get an interior into the moss farm, and then I do have one more build planned up on top of here. The build won't be too bad. Now, it's very tall, adds a lot of vertical space into this village over here, but however many blocks wise, it's not too bad at all, especially right after building that. And I think I'm going to get that up right now. It's going like right on top of here, and then I can do the interior of that place. I do want it to look kind of like a tinkerer's workshop, where there's just a lot of mossification things going on in there. Yeah, we did build a flag, so Silverport now has one. But it is time for me to restock on a lot of things. One being tough, and then I also need deep slate. Obviously, stone and cobble we're good on for a very long time because of terraforming that mountain. But things like this, spruce wood, gravel, and things like that, I do need quite a bit of again. Oh yeah. Would you look at that? Simple little S. When I was doing it, like making the design of the S, since it's waving, I did have to mess it up a little bit just to give the effect that it's waving. But I think you can totally tell that is an S. Now I really do like this little brace design. I think it adds like a cool little shape. And then if we come down here, you can see that I did add like little highlights of anything that would be sticking out more than the others, just to give the effect even more. So I went with the yellow going up to the red gradient. Always gotta love shaders, huh? Now texturing up this hill is definitely on the agenda as well, but I have landscaped quite a bit today, and I kind of want to tackle this interior up here now. We are all done with the interior. I went pretty high detailed on this. And my fault if the fog keeps going in and out. I turn it off here and there, just depending on what I'm doing. But right now it is on because I like the way everything looks over there. But if we come on inside, we got this little corner with some storage, of course, and then we got a little bookshelf with a little carpet in front of it. And then this is where I'm going to be keeping my bone meal as well, so I just threw it up on here. I named it Fruitful Foliage for right now. I think I'm going to change it to something else because this is more so a ingredient place as well as foliage. But moving on, we have some ingredients growing right here. I just found this out today that you can actually grow these on packed mud. So I just threw some signs and a little trapdoor as a little container for it. Over here we got a little machinery bit. And this cool little banner design that's hanging up with some candles on barrels. And then I used these vases more so as support for a shelf compared to like these vases that are actually holding stuff. Over here we have more ingredients on the wall, some more bookshelves, and a little painting array right here. Over here I went for more so like they're mixing the moss. So once they mix it over here, they sprinkle whatever this pink stuff in. And then once it's all settled, this is what it looks like up here maybe. I don't know, I thought that was a pretty cool idea. Got a little iron grate place, like support for the window. Coming in here, this is where I am going to be storing all of my stuff. I haven't pulled anything and put them over here quite yet. I can't even open that one. So it's for decor, I guess. But I do have all these barrels on the floor for overflow. Just a little bit more of machinery parts, and then this cool little framed painting array with a little red table with some candles, some more sea pickles, and some more storage. And then this doorway is pretty dramatic, but I didn't want to ruin the inside. Okay. I have no idea how he got in here. I feel like random stuff happens like that to me constantly. Got some in rods for lighting, lantern, redstone torch for lighting, and then another end rod right here. But I'm excited to keep on doing high detail like interiors like this as we move along into the grander shops and builds. So I have been sick for a couple days now, and I just felt like getting a lot of things done that I usually don't like doing, one being a lot of farms. But I also made this little cliff. I textured it up a little bit, and then also this little drawstring bridge going across. Now, I'm juggling between a couple things, one being a cemetery for up there, and then like a dead tree kind of showing along this right here. But I just wanted to connect this, and I wanted it to be skinny, so I went with the drawbridge like shakily. Honestly, it's probably not even safe. And then I do want to get this forest a little bit more dense. Anywhere there's a big gap, I'll probably add 3 more just to get this view even more so like filling. And if we have a couple trees right here as well in the back, so we get that fogged effect, I really think it would be cool to frame the statue off. Now if we fly on over here, of course we have our sugarcane farm, but I started out with 5 bee nests and I slowly but just been going to meadows and getting more. And now this thing is producing pretty alright. We have 16 now. I just emptied it or else I would show you. But we're going to be using copper a lot in the future, so I definitely need some honeycomb, especially candles as well. And then I added 2 more layers of the cactus farm. So we're be producing cactus quite a bit now. And then also bamboo. It's a little bit more manual than it probably has to be, but that is a lot of hoppers to connect everything, and I really don't want to spend the resources when I could just get it myself, you know? And then of course, I got rid of the mob grinder and added a creeper farm, because I do have plans for a bone meal farm up here, so I don't really need the bones from the mob grinder no more, so we can just exploit the gunpowder a little bit more with that gunpowder farm. Now I do want to get some more trees over here though, and then honestly I think I'll call it for today. And then for like mountains, like this little mountain right here and stuff, when I work down here and put buildings up and texture everything, that's probably when I'll do the mountain. And then same thing with the walls. I think I'm just going to texture the walls like as I go along, not really have like segments for the video of it. So the same thing when I work up there, I'll texture these walls so this backdrop will look a little bit better. But I do want to get some trees in. I am needing to go mining real quick. I'm just gonna stock up on a few things. One being copper, and honestly, I'm good on everything because as you can see, I did build an iron farm, so I don't really need to be getting that anymore. It's a simple one for sure, but I think I'm just gonna like dig down right here. This would be a cool place to build, actually. Ooh, I really like this actually. Anyways, I'm gonna just dig down right here and then go mining for a bit. I haven't done it in a while and I feel like being in the caves, so I'm going to do that real quick. Flying on up to the farming area. This is the iron farm. Oh, it looks like he's stuck. There we go. And it's producing a little bit. This is just from about an hour or so. Maybe a little longer than that, to be honest. But it is producing. And then I also added a few more trees over here. So as you can see flying in, it's a lot more bushier in the back now with all the fog and everything. I'm keeping all of this open and wild just to really make the statue stand out a bit. But I added a lot more all right here, mostly just to get that dense, but also dense from afar when you're looking over in this direction. Because now if we fly, especially this tree right here, but also those little trees in the back, add to it, adds like some depth and everything. But this one, I really needed that one up just so I can get a better frame for this Cyclops right here. And I really like it. I like it a lot actually. And now we got that drawbridge. And I think that is it. Hope you enjoyed this type of episode. Even though I'm more of a slow-paced guy, this is still even more slow-paced than usual. And I feel like this is how I'm going to be doing it. Every now and then, maybe from here on out, I'm not too sure. Just experiment a bit. But just remember, you are loved. I love you. And peace out.